Alright, hey everyone. So, I've been seeing this question asked more, and I get asked it pretty frequently. And it is there any reason to make any alts at all? You get 4 slots in total. Now, there are a few, and I'm going to list some of them out. They're not reasons that you need to, but they are benefits of making them. And they're pretty good, but they're also they're a little less convenient, and your time, I think personally, could be spent doing something else that's probably more worthwhile. But if you find yourself not needing to do those other things, then here's a few of the reasons. All right, so the first one is access to all the extra storage that you can have on an alt. All right, so here I'm going to show you currently all the initial that you can have on one character, and this is all without, besides my one home, without the chests. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so with that, that's each place has, I believe, 1,000 pounds starting off. And that's, you also will go and get your 3 houses, which means it's 3 chests per house. That's an extra 9 houses, with the highest chest having, I believe, 1,080. So right there, with all those houses, that's 20,000 extra. And then if you're actually leveling up in those zones, but we won't count that for the sake of this, you will have the 20,000 from all those zones, and then 3 houses, an extra 9,000 on there. So you're looking at about 29,000 extra storage from each character, and it's a pretty big deal, especially if you're someone's doing mass farming. Maybe you're the crafter, helping the crafter in your clan or guild or whatever. Now the problem is that while that potential storage exists, you do have to have somebody help you turn it all over there. Again, not an issue if you're in like a bigger clan or something, but for just probably the average player or someone who's not really playing with a big group, or somebody you want to trust with all of your materials, it's not the biggest or best idea. But again, if you have someone you trust, then go ahead and do it. All right, so the next reason to build a second character up is going to be gold. Now, some of you know, but in case you don't, there are a very decent amount of ways in which you can earn gold from daily specifically. And these revolve around your 2 random Q mutator chests for queuing as tank or healer in your mutations. That's 2. And then you also get 3 for the regulars. The 2 chests, if you queue as tank or healer, will have 1,000 gold, and then you also get your 250 for using the random queue. So that's getting about 1,500 from that, and then it's very similar to the 3 that you get with the regular dungeons. So that'll end up by giving you about 3 to 3.2k. I forgot the exact amount. I don't always do them all. But then there's also clearing 2 large corruption portals. That is 250 each. That's another 5,000. Then you get your 3 vaults that just drop from random mobs about your level. And then currently, with the Thanksgiving event, we have the 3 turkey bags. And then if you want to get a little more technical into it, there's all the gypsums that you can earn to craft the orbs, and then eventually make the weekly sack that's got 1,500 in it. So you could throw that in there. That's just part of the larger thing. And then there's some smaller things like I think it's a daily in Arik to kill the Siren Queen, who's like way up there in one of the treetop areas where her base is at, if you want to call it that. And that's kind of just the general second thing to do. Because, if you've got 4 characters and you're actually going to do that, you're looking at, you gotta say, like, at least 5-6k a day. And that's not like maxing it, because there's a few there that I'm forgetting, I think. But, I mean, you're earning about 20k a day between those characters. And to even get to that point is not really that big of a deal, because leveling very quickly, just go through the main story quest. And as far as the gear, you could just go buy some crappy gear off the trade post real quick to get to your 650 level. And then just queue up, and then you'll get some good drops on the way. something that I see that is very common, and for whatever reason, it's not actually fixed there in the mutation queue. It shows the incorrect value for what you get from the chest. It is far greater than that amount is shown. I'm not sure if they plan to fix that or if that's intentional from something that they just forgot to update or lower. That there's no telling with it. And so one of the probably the last bigger reasons to make another one is so that you have access to the rest of the raid's cooldowns. So you have a set amount each week. You have 4 characters. Now you just increase that amount. So you can keep going in there and farming for the things that you need. The biggest one being the Gorgon's Eye, I would say. And then whatever BOE drops that come from there as well. Some of the better gear. But you need the Gorgon's Eye in order to upgrade some of your better stuff. Like the Hoplite and the Gorgon gear that does drop from there. Up to 725. And then there's a ton of the recipes in there for all the Gorgon stuff. Fire staff, life staff, every weapon, different gear sets. Having those alternate characters allows you more chances to get these recipe drops, and then overall, it's just better for that specifically if you're getting like real into crafting than wanting to sell, or if you're in like a bigger clan or whatever to help them out. And you can also diversify your crafting specs between each character, and if you are getting the good drops, you build each one, and you're kind of saving that little bit of gold on respecking too, depending on how often you're going from being a healer to being a tank to being a DPS to PvP, PvE, things like that. Stuff that people may not initially see. Oh, it's only 50 gold. It doesn't matter. But then you're doing it, 6, 7, 10 times a day or whatever. Whenever you get on over the course of the week, so that's just you're bleeding hundreds and thousands of gold. It's something that's lesser thought about. And there's also music recipes that drop from there, and to some people that doesn't matter more. I like them, but it's not them dropping in the raid is not an extra, like a boon for me to want to make another character. And the last reason, it's more speculation. They just announced the new roadmap, so we don't know for sure. But the potential new content that is hopefully coming, seeming like it is going to make it far more worth to have alts. We can only speculate right now. I've already shown that, but really it's something that you could do if you've got the extra time and want to prepare for that to drop, or for the things in that to hopefully happen. Some of it is sounding like it could be very good, but we don't know yet. So besides what I've listed here, I can't really think of any other reasons. Those are some of the bigger ones, ones that I thought of when other people have mentioned before. Even like some of the gold values were a little off, but the gold I would say is probably the biggest reason. That's a lot of gold that you can make per day if you've got the multiple characters. And then if you can find someone to help you out, you can just switch that between. Same thing with the storage. But if I didn't miss anything at all, just please go ahead and let me know below. Thank you for watching. Please support this video. Have a good day.